Hello, everybody. My name is Peter, and I'm delighted to be here today to talk about how data is transforming the sustainability agenda, enabling industries to operate more efficiently and, of course, to drive to net zero. Now, first, let me talk very briefly and explain to you who AVEVA is, who we are, what we do. We're saying we're the leaders in industrial software, and you see this very nicely on the screen here. Leaders in industrial software that spans the entire value chain. So from designing and engineering a plant all the way to operations and maintenance. We're very committed to driving sustainability in all of that, what we do, from how we go about our business to the solution we design and to the implementation at our 20,000 customers across the world, 20,000 plants that we serve. So as a software provider, we have privileged insights, as you can imagine, into some of the most innovative companies in the world. And we can see that the planet is witnessing a time of unimaginable disruption and incredible innovation that will help us tackle that big challenge. Now, with the clock ticking on our decade of action, companies, including ourselves, are committing to be part of the solution to drive sustainable outcomes. We're probably the last generation to make that shift and that change. Now, we see ongoing cross-industry dialogue with fellow leaders as critical to catalyzing thinking, and that's why I'm pleased to be speaking at today's conference. Now, today I want to share some of our insights and experiences and explore industries and how they are responding to climate challenges. This will be a defining issue for our lifetimes, in my point of view. Now, there are tectonic shifts going in on how companies operate and think about their business, enabled by new data-centric operating models. And these shifts in thinking are opening up new sustainability opportunities for everybody in our sector. Now, to understand how dramatic the shift is in thinking, let's have a look at the amount of industrial data that companies are gathering. As recently as 2017, companies were managing 26 zettabytes of data from IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things sensors, engineering and operations data in the year. Now, by 2021, that data has grown to 74 zettabytes. And for those who don't know what a zettabyte is, that's 74 plus 21 zeros afterwards. That's a huge amount of data. And by 2024, there will be more than double, 150 zettabytes of data under management, meaning with all this data comes, of course, the opportunity to use it to discover opportunities to work more efficiently, meaning cutting emissions and drive new operating models also. To do this takes inspiration and what we say insight into the data. This is where the private sector comes in, companies like ourselves and our clients. Now, recent research that we've done by ourselves showed that 89% of companies recognize that they have a role to play in driving sustainability. I think that's already very, very important. Taking a data-led approach, industry users and industry leaders are using that data and insight into it to drive sustainability and collaboration across their ecosystems. But while data holds the potential to drive efficiency, information, and that's the augmentation of data, is of course not the answer. We need to transform the way we work with that data, and it is not as simple as flicking a switch, if you will. It requires a new digital way of thinking. Let me maybe explain a little bit what I mean by that. True digital innovation goes beyond the data because we're operating in a truly data-centric way. greater insight gives you the freedom to think differently too. And digitization frees teams from repetitive tasks by automating them. And that's very critical. Now, if you think about a study that was done by Anaconda in 2020, people who worry about data and analyze it and take action, 50% of their time is used to upload data and to sort it. If we're automating it, people can really worry about how they drive sustainability using insight on that data, reasoning, judgment, and improvisation. Of course, software is going to help to do that. Now, as we've all learned in the past 18 months, this empowers people to think in a much more sustainable way, if you wish. So here we are helping innovators and industries that are transitioning to a more sustainable way of working. A great example of this kind is Neste, the world's leading producer of renewable diesel and sustainable aviation fuels. They use our software to optimize and schedule renewable credits. This enables their team to cut and reduce emissions from conventional refining, as well as boosting production of renewable fuels. So you see, it's a combination of improving the traditional business and being able to fully materialize on also new ways of working and new ways of businesses. So they're collaborating across 80 sites in a cloud-enabled nested team environment, and they're able to accelerate their best practices, improve efficiency of decision-making around the supply and distribution, as well as speeding up production planning and scheduling processes. That saves them €3 million over the first year of implementation. Now, that may sound like a small number compared to what I said earlier, but for businesses, this is a great start. And because it is a cloud deployment, the team can use data intelligence and analytics to make fast decisions from anywhere, increasing supply chain efficiency and helping to drive Neste's net zero agenda. So it's really a win-win, if you will. Now, a study that was done by PwC showed that the existing technology and operating digital software that we have today can drive more than 70% of the targets that underpin the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I believe this is really exciting because it proves that sustainability and innovation complement each other. And industries are starting to embed their digital transformation strategies into their sustainability strategies, accelerating their decarbonization ambitions and paving the way for a new, more efficient, green future. And that's true for almost any industry that we're working in, if you will. So I said many times, insights from the leading edge of innovation as a global leader in industrial software that spans engineering, as I said, engineering a plant, building the plant, and then operating it, maintaining it over the life cycle. These assets, as we call them, sometimes have a life cycle of 30, 40 years. So what we're bringing into the market now, what our customers build, is going to be there for 30 or 40 years. And we got to make sure that we deploy the latest technology and work with companies leading the charge of sustainable innovations, if you will. And it's clear from where we sit that the pace of change is accelerating and it needs to accelerate. Now, 4 out of 5 customers are looking to increase their digital investment in the next 5 years to facilitate this data-centric operating model and achieve more sustainable businesses as we move forward. And we recognize that as a digital leader, we have an active role to play ourselves in delivering that opportunity. So for ourselves, we are committed to working with industry leaders to enable them to meet their net zero ambitions and work toward a greener future. Transformative corporate leadership demands a shift in mindsets as well, if you will, across sectors and companies. We see 4 common success criteria to achieve meaningful progress. So let me line them out because I think it's important to be very practical. So number 1, or first, to drive meaningful innovation, sustainability needs to be integrated into all facets of the business, with clear programmatic plans spelling out the step-by-step journey towards measurable improvement impacting long-term change. The second point I want to make is the mitigation of your sustainable supply chain, because those impacts are really vital. Supporting and incentivizing external vendors to decrease their own CO2 footprints is key for larger companies in particular. So beyond building sustainability requirements into contracts, committed companies are also sharing best practices directly with their suppliers. It goes as much as also sharing data forward and backward. And that's where, we see pioneering across companies, even across industries, where collaboration helps entire supply chains to decarbonize. So sharing is very important in that regard. My third point is the willingness to travel into the unknown. That really sets leaders apart. Companies who are prepared to make bold bets to advance sustainability are increasingly using own facilities to create sustainability laboratories and lighthouse projects. Those are the innovators of the future with whom we need to and will work together. Many are also using ambitious sustainability commitments as catalysts to chart a course, driving inspiration and innovation across their organization in equal measure. And sometimes we don't know everything today. That's why we're saying go into the uncharted territory. We don't have all the answers, but we go on a journey with aggressive targets. Now, at AVEVA, we find the innovation around us very stimulating and motivating. And we do believe that we have a huge opportunity ahead of us as the shift to data-centric operating models is changing how industries can operate and creating new, more sustainable business models, as I've outlined in my first example earlier. Now, a great example for new business model is also emerging as a result of data-led decisions making in one of our customers called Ontario Power Generation, or OPG. The team there is using AI or artificial intelligence on the basis of data to build a network of what they call citizen data scientists who are driving sustainable innovation across their operations. Now, their team uses the AVEVA Pi system data management. It's the largest data repository for our clients in the industrial world. And on top of it, they put a predictive analytics that also comes from AVEVA to optimize performance across their hydroelectric power network. Now you can say hydroelectric power, well, that's already very sustainable. But I think we also need to have a look at how productive one can be, because if you get more out of your plant, the more sustainable it is. So in under 2 years, the program has delivered over $4 million of savings US and enabled their teams to share best practices quicker, again, using the cloud. And I think it clearly shows that you can do sustainability and profitability at the same time and optimize both of them, and they need to go together. So in one of their plants near the Niagara Falls, the team saved $200,000 US in a single, what they call catch, using pattern recognition to identify a drop in air cooling performance before it triggered an alarm, and they could take respective action. Now, this enabled the team to intervene and rectify a fault in a temperature control system, which would otherwise have shut down the entire plant, causing massive unplanned energy use or production. So, of course, wasted time, and then also the precious resources that were there. I think these examples show how taking a data-led approach reduces risk and increases operational efficiency. So helping to optimize real-time energy management and minimize overall emissions that are also generated in these plants. Let's not forget that. So at AVEVA, we take our own commitment to data-led efficiency also very seriously. In the past year, we've made a significant investment in our sustainability profile ourselves, distilling our approach into environmental, social, and then, of course, also a governance framework, as that is important. So let's have a look at this for a minute. Of course, we've been listening to our stakeholders and did a detailed materiality assessment. Our framework defines the scope and scale of our sustainability ambition that we've sent out. Our technology handprint is how we think about the positive environmental, operational, and social impact that our products offer to our customers. As a technology leader, this is where we have the biggest opportunity to make a positive impact with our software at our clients, driving sustainability and driving efficiency, because efficiency is the biggest driver for sustainability. Now, our operational footprint is how we approach responsibility, running our business, obtaining results the right way, and mitigating the negative environmental impacts of our activities. So our inclusive culture sets out how we strive to enable an environment of inclusion, well-being, and of course, opportunity for all our people and communities. And building on that vision, we have set ourselves bold targets, I believe bold targets, in climate and in culture. We've committed to achieve net zero emission for our operations and to cut scope 3 emissions by 2050, by 50% by 2030, not 2050, 2030, 50%. We believe this will put us on a strong path to reach net zero across our value chain definitely no later than 2050, in line with the highest level of ambition under the Paris Agreement. Now, leading by example, we're speeding progress to a net zero future by enhancing the suite of solutions we offer to our customers to enable them to reduce their carbon footprints respectively. Very important in my view. So we may not have all the answers, but we're committed to playing our part to the full, and that's why we've signed up also to the race of net zero in the FTSE 100, if you will. In this endeavor, we're continually inspired by how our customers are using software to redefine what's possible in sustainable industrial operations. That's what it is all about for us. A great example is the Norwegian engineering pioneer Acre Carbon Capture. Their team uses AVEVA engineering in the cloud to design and produce templates for innovative carbon capture facilities. Now, using templates, the engineering team in India has been able to work more efficiently, sharing information in real time across the globe with the operations team in Norway, of course, all on the cloud, and that is a big enabler. This approach is enabling Acre Carbon Capture to deliver high-quality, innovative designs faster than ever, with the first system being installed as we speak at a waste plant in the Netherlands, where the captured carbon will be used as a fertilizer for tulip farms. I think it's a great way where digital is helping and transforming into action. It's helping to accelerate sustainable innovation with our clients, and that's what we're all about. At its heart, sustainable innovation is about more than just rapid implementation of energy saving software. It's about building understanding between people and driving shared commitment to support the global net zero vision, whatever the market environment, if you will. So as an expert team, we're proud to be working with leaders and operational teams to drive both value and sustainability in today's rapidly evolving environment. As I said before, it is our generation's challenge and our nation's shared opportunity, and we're determined to work to make it a reality. It's our obligation, I believe. I look forward to pioneering with all of you as we treat the path to a more inclusive 1.5-degree world and accelerate into our sustainable future. Together, I believe we can get there. Well, I want to thank you for your attention, and stay tuned on this channel to the next speaker. I look forward to being in touch with you. Thank you very much.